Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Husnina binti Sahrulrazi. Let me start my presentation with an introduction what this research is all about. Gastronomic tourism refers to journey to location where the local food and beverage are the primary motivators for travel, with people traveling to specific, typically local, produce to eat and drink. Culinary tourism tends to be the bulk of domestic tourism activity, with consumers going to places to eat and drink certain, usually local products. As in our country, Malaysia, there are so many food and beverage entrepreneurs. This is because Malaysia is rich in various types of food, whether it is be heritage food or food from the current era. Many places have tried to provide the best culinary experiences they can to travelers. Gastronomic tourism has emerged as a major issue in urban tourism, spanning a variety of topics. It includes food events that serve as attractions, restaurants and beverage streets or districts, the necessity of catering food options to a wide range of tourist preferences and demands, and the possibilities of branding towns for foodies. The COVID-19 epidemic had a significant impact on travel risk and tourist management perspectives. The research problem statement is that visitors are apprehensive about traveling. As a result, the Malaysian food and beverage industry, particularly in Penang, is stagnating due to a lack of tourists. In addition, the government has established standard operating procedures that must be followed by tourists. As a consequence of this pandemic, locals' possibilities to promote Penang's unique food and culture to local tourists from neighboring states are limited. Next, we move to the literature review. The first variable is service quality. Service quality is one of the factors that influence tourist satisfaction when they visit Penang's food and beverage industries. Service quality is defined as satisfying tourist expectation on a constant basis. Service quality can be determined by comparing user expectation to service performance. As a result, food and beverage sector operators in Penang must improve their infrastructure as well as the quality of service they provide to visitors that visit their eateries. The second variable is travel destination. The image of Georgetown Penang depicts a tourist's fears and expectations in relation to the conceptualization, appeal, feelings and overall perspective of a certain site. The qualities of a destination are important instruments for achieving tourist satisfaction and the intent to return. Destination image has a comparable impact on word of mouth among visiting tourists through the growth of the destination satisfaction as perceived by service quality and perceived value. The qualities of a destination are an important instrument for achieving tourist satisfaction and the intent to return. The next variable is memorable experience. Once tourists explore local cuisine, they are introduced to the culture of the place they are visiting, and emotional bonds may form as a result of these memorable encounters. The memorability of a journey is enhanced by the positive feelings emerging from a vacation experience. Negative emotions are associated with a sense of dissatisfaction, and tourists may associate a negative experience with either the tourist spot or the level of service offered. Bad food may be much more remembered than good food for health reasons, and emotion is a key indicator for managing the traveler's experience. This is my research framework. Independent variables for this study are service quality, travel destination, and memorable experience. Dependent variable for this study is tourist satisfaction. Three hypotheses are created based on the theoretical framework. First hypothesis is there is a positive relationship between service quality towards tourist satisfaction. Second hypothesis is that there is a positive relationship between travel destination towards the tourist satisfaction. And the last one is there is a positive relationship between memorable experience toward tourist satisfaction. This study used the quantitative approach to investigate the factors that affecting tourist satisfaction on food and beverage industry in Penang during post-pandemic COVID-19. The population were among tourists in the state of Malaysia who make a gastronomic trip to Penang as a respondent. The data were gathered by utilizing convenience sampling, and at the end of data collection process, 384 respondents were obtained. Social media or any online platforms such as WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and Telegram will be used in distributing those questionnaires. The IBM SPSS Statistic version 21 software program will be used to analyze any statistical data. Descriptive and Person correlation analysis are the two types of methodologies that will be used to analyze the data gathered. Regarding gender, through this finding, the number of female respondents is higher than males, with females 61%. The second frequency test looked at respondents' age, with the highest 32% is 23 years old and the lowest with 0.8% 60 years old. The most higher respondents is from the state Kedah with 42.7%, and the lowest tourists that make a gastronomic tourism to Penang with 1% is Sarawak. There was a slightly high proportion of Malay races tourists with 95% and the lowest with 0% for Indian tourists. The highest monthly income is 43% of respondents were having monthly income of 2,000 and below, and the lowest were 0% of total respondents from income 4,000 and above. According to each question's unique design, the questions were ranked from highest to lowest based on their mean scores. All of dimensions are showing level of agreement that respondents incline from agreeing towards strongly agree. This could be seen their mean score of more than 4. Referring the output table, the coefficient alpha for the tourist satisfaction, the highest coefficient value of 0.94 with the lowest coefficient value of 0.904 is service quality. According to RIAN 1995, any testing should be judged reasonable and acceptable if the coefficient value is greater than 0.6. All of variable is considered in a good value of reliability test. Now, moving on the table output of person correlation coefficients. Correlation coefficients quantify the strength of a relationship between two variables. Person's coefficient of correlation is the most common sort of correlation coefficients. There is a strong positive linear relationship between service quality and tourist satisfaction on food and beverage industry in Penang during post-pandemic COVID-19. Second, there is a strong positive linear relationship between travel destination and tourist satisfaction, and there is a strong positive linear relationship between memorable experience and tourist satisfaction on food and beverage industry in Penang during post-pandemic COVID-19. The data is highly correlated. The objective of this study is to determine the most important factors that affect tourist satisfaction in the food and beverage industry in Penang during post-epidemic period. This study confirms that there is a positive relationship between service quality and tourist satisfaction. It is important to improve the availability of existing service quality so that tourists are comfortable to make a gastronomic trip to a place. The authenticity of local food also needs to be preserved and the quality of authenticity improved so that tourist satisfaction can be achieved. The quality of a destination is a significant tool for increasing tourist satisfaction and willingness to revisit. safety and security have been established as the main factors influencing the selection of tourist destination. This study shows that memorable experiences contribute to the factors influencing the food and beverage industry in Penang post-pandemic COVID-19. This study is to determine the factors that affect tourist satisfaction in the food and beverage industry in Penang during post-pandemic COVID-19. For this study, factors that affect tourist satisfaction such as service quality, travel destination, and memorable experience. Thus, tourist satisfaction is represented by tourists from state in Malaysia, which is the dependent variable. In addition, independent variables and dependent variables were analyzed by descriptive and Pearson's correlation coefficients by contrasting using the direct hypothesis. It shows that the dependent variable is affected by the independent variable. Then, the results show that the relationship between service quality, travel destination, and memorable experience is very significant. In conclusion, the findings of this study prove that there is a relationship between service quality, travel destination, and memorable experience with tourists who do gastronomic tourism in Penang. With that, I end up my presentation with a big thank you for your time and attention.